I like giving people colours other than red and blue because we see them every bloody game in Sparta. It's player 1 and player 2, like, boring. I'll never get sick of having adjustable player colours in this game. Never, ever, ever. Ever, ever, ever. Will I ever get sick of it. So, got EKA here on the left, Grungy on the right, and both players now swapping to a civ that you open triple barracks and queue up your age up out of the town centre. So in this game we've only seen one of in this series so far we've only seen one of them, being Greeks from Grungy in the first game, which EKA's picked again, well picked now after picking Egyptians twice. Grungy's played Greeks and then Babylon. Done wonderful on both. Not to take away from EKA though, because he's playing quite cleanly himself, really trying to reach for some fast tech on Egypt, but it just hasn't quite panned out for him, and Grungy's been able to punish it with some tidy play of his own. So, tidy play on tiny, guys, so you heard it here first. Conditioning coming out for both players, and Champ Spara even coming out, because, I mean, they're the only Age 1 unit that's going to get fielded in Age 2 just by design of the barracks across the civs. And it's still worth getting, I think, just because it gives you that, well, considering the amount of Pierce armor it gives you, and that more than offsets the Pierce armor you're going to lose in the late game getting the Crush armor bonus out of your War Academy. The downside is, in the early game, these high health, high Pierce armor units are pretty useless against counter infantry, so EKA's going to have the ability to shove into his opponent early on here, but Grungy, your tower play is impeccable, man. Although I don't understand why he microed off that villager then. He was probably going to get a kill. Here we go. He's focusing Vils now. While EKA forced to really try and conserve units a little bit, and then run in for a hit, and then back off again. So both players really want to play sort of tit for tat with the infantry here and not engage without a slight unit count advantage or without being slightly faster on tower support. So Grungy and Crimson gonna finish up a second tower each. War Academy gonna finish up for EKA. Rangers coming in for Grungy, and EKA's gonna go stables rather than going Rangers because his Toxotes, well, he does have one range there, sorry, but his Toxotes are at a bit of a disadvantage compared to the Persian Bowmen, because the Persian Bowmen are firing against a unit that deals well with infantry and eats shit against range units, while the Persian infantry in this stage, they eat shit against infantry and they deal really well with range units. So Saris are even going to get fielded here in a GVP in Tiny. You heard it here first, guys. Last year, nobody would have ever fucking thought that this matchup would ever be played this far into a tournament, but we are seeing it right now. Because Greeks were sort of a tier 2 and Persia were definitely a tier 3 civ in earlier balance times with Tiny when it first come out. And right now we're seeing Saris versus Asabara. Like, man, this is like a real game scaled down in terms of unit comps now. Fortress v Fortress. No War Academy yet for Grungy. It's a bit surprising because, I mean, I know delaying it can be quite beneficial in terms of just being able to get buildings out to outright just produce shit, but then by this stage I think you probably do just want to have one villager making one sneakily over here or something. And EKA going to H4, Grungy going to H4 as well, but it is about 2 Vils time delayed, so about 30 seconds away. Actually no, I think it's longer than that, these later age ups. So it could be scary, and particularly because the Greek player did have that train time reduction, but in saying that, Grungy with a slight unit count advantage here, and what's the tower count? 4 to 5. 4 to 4, sorry, this one's not finished yet. So things are going to get quite tough here for EKA because he's going to need to be able to catch up to Grungy in terms of production because, oh no, here we go. He does have the War Academy. I didn't see it. I'm blind as a bat. And he's even going to go Blood Out the Sun. He probably could have queued up Paid Labor first because it had just, oh, it doesn't really matter. I suppose he's got that age up on the way. Good idea, big fella. Who am I to judge? You're about to go through the finals and I didn't. Nah, just kidding. Don't want to rule EKA out here because he's putting up a valiant fight, but right now he's caught with less villagers down to 2 to 8 for Grungy. So Grungy going to be able to creep forward with towers, going to be able to throw up and reinforce houses and production here. While EKA really relying on the fact that he does have a slightly quicker... Oh no, it doesn't actually affect fills, does it? At train time reduction. So things looking really rough for EKA. Once again, Grungy up past the 120 pop mark and EKA down, falling down under the 70 pop mark. So, ooh, but there is going to be a ballista on the way here. So if this can hit the death ball and survive, ooh, there we go. So it's going to start chunking Grungy's units. So he's losing 4 or 5 units at a time here to this thing, taking damage on others. But it is going to fall, and the workshop itself didn't have another one in queue and is going to fall as well now. Hippocon's in production, really quite a beefy unit and going to eat up these infantry. But there's just that much ranged and siege support here. And that fortress is covering the mid-map a little bit better, while this one's not even finished yet for EKA. So things are looking really tough for him, and Grungy, solid play on the 3 civs we've seen him field so far, and this might be the first semi-finals win with Persia in Tiny. Man, these things, they're just tearing through the towers. GG. Game number 3 goes to Grungy. So we might take a quick break and be back with some more of the action.